Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaur Bhakta Vrindam.
Good day, Haribo Namaste. Welcome to this weekly episode of Thursday Yoga Talk, brought to you by Philippine Yoga Academy. I am Nefai de la Serna, your host for today, and I have also some co-anchor with me. Okay, so I am a yoga holistic coach, and for many years I've been helping people to transform their lives and to develop how they can achieve their inner potential to develop themselves in their fields. So this afternoon, this show is all about yoga under the sun and beyond. We will bring you the bits and talks about yoga from its philosophy and practices, primarily to help you, to assist you through your yoga journey. So I hope you are all guys good and relaxing in your home, because I want you to experience this episode wherein we can give you all those things that we know and our expertise. We can share it with you. This is our way to share with you what we got for all the support that you have through the yoga journey. Okay, so without further ado, I will introduce now my co-anchor with me, my one of the phenomenal and amazing women that I know in my life, no other than my Sifu Marsha Lloyd.
Hi everyone. Hello everyone. I'm finally on. Namaste.
Hi, Sifu Haribo.
Thank you for having me here, Haribo. So I think I'm gonna go get started straight away. And what I'm gonna do now is to make it so that we all settle down, because our energy is all over the place. Obviously, we've been doing something before 1 o'clock came on. So this really easy method of breathing meditation is so practical that anyone can actually do it. Diba, Nefai, you know how to do it, right?
Yes. It's our hack.
All right.
It's one of the hack.
Yes, absolutely. It's whenever you feel like you've got a gap between two tasks or something like that, and you just want to reset, this is a good one to do. If you're feeling anxious, this meditation is good to do when you wake up in the morning before you go to bed. absolutely at any time of the day. So very simple. First, of course, since this is um, we need to be able to move our energy around our body. You need to be able to sit down like comfortably. If you're sitting on a chair like I am, making sure your sit bones, I hope you know where all your sit bones are, that bony part there in your bottom, that is evenly placed on your seat. So feet flat on the floor. If you're sitting on a chair, okay, so we're still talking about sitting in a chair. So feet flat on the floor, back is nice and long. I don't know if you can see my back. There you go. So from the base of your spine all the way through to the top of your head, you might have to sit on the edge of your chair to make it so that your feet aren't hanging. The feet have to be anchored to the floor. Your hands, what to do with your hands. You can just place your palms on your lap, or again, you can put it in Chin Mudra, thumb and second finger together. This mudra or hand gesture is very good for calming your mind and also for the proper movement of energy throughout your body. That's why you see a lot of yogis do this. That's for that particular reason. If you're seated on a mat or on the floor, just find an easy position of your feet. Again, still important that your sit bones are evenly distributed on your sitting position, in a sitting position. Chin is slightly tucked in, tongue is resting on the roof of the mouth like you're saying the letter L, and spine is nice and long from the base of the spine all the way through to the top of the head. Again, you can just place your palms on your lap, or you can form the Chin Mudra gesture with your hand. First of all, this is a breathing exercise. So we pay attention to our breath pattern. So for now, to start off with, I just want you to sit quietly, maybe close your eyes if you want to, so that you can focus better and watch your breath, just watching your breath. Making sure your shoulders are relaxed when you breathe in, okay? Don't lift them up like this. No, that will add tension. So you want to be relaxed, relaxing your upper chest, your shoulders, your neck. Like I said, chin is slightly tucked in towards the collarbone to lengthen your neck and relax it. Facial muscles are relaxed, especially between the eyebrows. Hold a lot of tension in there. We always crease our eyebrows. So just watching that breath. Now, when your breath has settled down, when you do this in a yoga class, I'll go through all the different things that you need to do, but I don't want to complicate matters right now. I just want you to use your normal breathing pattern. But as much as possible, try to, when you inhale, abdomen expands, and on the out breath, abdomen relaxes. It's just to make sure that you're breathing all the way down and you're filling up your lungs with air. Because if we just breathe on the upper part of our chest, then you're still going to be holding tension. I want you relaxed, okay? So abdomen expanding on the in-breath and relaxing on the out-breath. Now we're going to add a sound, a yoga sound to this pranayam, this breathing exercise. And the yoga sound will be Gauranga. I think Nephi has the mantra Gauranga in the artwork. It should be there. So it's Gauranga in 4 syllables. It's Go, G-O-U, Gaur. There it is. It's on the screen right now. So Gauranga. So when we breathe in, fill our lungs with air, we think of this sound Gauranga. And on our out breath, we say the sound Gauranga to the length of our out breath. So many of us probably, we all have different breath lengths. So I'm going to try to take the middle ground here. Like, I'm not going to make it like so long because we might run out of breath. So if you're practicing for yourself and you've been practicing pranayama or yoga asanas for quite some time, I'm pretty sure your breath lengths will be a lot longer. So for today, we'll just do not too long, but not very short either. Okay. So take a deep breath in and then let that breath out. Now we're going to start. Be comfortable. Breathing in. Think of the sound Goranga on your mind. And on the out breath, repeat to the length of your out breath. Goranga. You have to say the mantra loud enough so that you can hear, to be able to engage more of your senses in the meditation practice. In that way, the mind is not going to be floating all over the place. If you do find your mind going elsewhere, you gently bring it back. All right, breathing in. Goranga. In breath. Goranga. In breath. Goranga. We'll do two more. And the last one. Now keep your eyes closed. Continue breathing, letting the sound Gora Anga resonate in your mind for a few breaths. And when you're ready, relax your hands and open your eyes. Okay, so I hope that helped everybody settle in. Now we're going to wait for our host to come back. Where is she? Right, I am back. You're back. I can't. Your sound is off. I can't hear you.
Okay, so that was a very nice and soothing introduction for our for this afternoon. I hope you guys who are watching us are relaxed and rejuvenated with those simple meditation that Mama Dhava showed us. Okay, so we are now here. The essence of why we are here today. So basically, this afternoon we want to share to all of you why is it that um, yoga is for everybody and what it is, the introduction to that, or how can one start to practice their yoga, what is yoga. So we will talk it about. Along with me is my mentor. So first of all, I want to say hi to her. She didn't have any chance a while ago to introduce herself. So, ma'am,
Oh,
ma'am, can you tell our viewers what you do and what you are up to, and all the things that you are free to share.
okay, sure. Hi, hello, namaste. I will properly introduce myself. My students know me as Madhava. I'm the program manager for the Home Meditation and Yoga Centers in Tagbilaran City. I'm not there at the moment, but I will be going back. And I have been a long-term meditation teacher, like decades. And I'm also a certified yoga asanas instructor, as well as a certified Tai Chi instructor. So most of my time is spent either studying to further my skills, to make it so that I'm a better teacher, or I'm teaching. So I do online classes um, because that's the world we live in now. And probably where I am at the moment, we are able to be. I will be able to do face-to-face classes in January. At the moment, I'm not doing face-to-face classes yet. Um, but from in Tagbilaran, all we do is online classes. That's about all I can say about myself.
Okay, that's a lot of things to know actually about you. And if you know this lady, this phenomenal lady, then what she said to you is just at the brink of what she's capable to do. So anyway, going forward to what we are discussing today. So, Sifu, how will you tell anybody that yoga is for everybody? Why is it that yoga is for everybody?
Okay. Well, when people hear the word yoga, usually they think about breathing and they think about exercises. So I'll focus on that for now, because even with yoga exercises and breathing, it's definitely for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're you're lying down in bed because you can't move, you're in a wheelchair, or you're very strong, or you're not very strong. There is a type of exercise that you can actually do according to your physical abilities and limitations. Um, your teacher will be able that is why it's very important to actually have a live teacher. I know most of our classes these days are on YouTube and things like that. They can help you up to a point, but you really need a live teacher to be able to check your alignment, to be able to also suggest and even make a class plan that's suited for you and for your abilities and, like I said, limitations. A person who's pregnant, obviously they cannot join in a general class, or somebody who's got scoliosis might need more might need more help or assistance, with the poses. Or if somebody's 68 years old and had never exercised before in their life, and they've now decided they're going to do yoga, of course, a class for that person is going to have to be different. So it's the skill of your instructor. Your instructor should be trained enough or have enough experience to make it so that they can actually curate a class that is suited for you. That's why you can say that yoga is for everybody. And also breathing exercises. I mean, man, who doesn't breathe? Everybody breathes. It's just that some people breathe better than others. So this one, my teacher, the one who trained me, and also Nephi, the teacher who trained us helped us with our accreditation. She injured herself, broke her leg, I think, or something like that. And of course, she couldn't do, and her arm. So it wasn't just the leg, her arm and her leg. So it was not possible to do any physical yoga. But what she did to help with her healing, I mean, her body is like, I think in her late 60s. I'm not sure. I can't remember how old she was when she had her accident. But, maybe in her mid 60s or late 60s, and she did a lot of breathing exercises. She did a lot of pranayama. And just from that, she was able to heal within the time period of a young person, 6 weeks. Even for a body that's already advanced in age and, can't move the arm and can't move the leg, but just with the breathing exercise. So that's how powerful breathing exercises are. So that's why you don't think that you can't do yoga because of certain things. I'm not flexible enough. Of course, no, that's the most common thing I always hear. They call up or they inquire about classes and they go, oh, but can I do yoga? I'm not flexible enough. I said, well, if you don't do yoga, you'll never be flexible. I say, that's why you go to a yoga class, so you can learn flexibility. And you can also, hand in hand with that, is also strength. That's another thing you have to be careful about. Some instructors will just take you all the way to all this flexibility movements, but they're not including strengthening exercises. You need both. And for a person who's hypermobile, very, very flexible.
That's
if you don't,
that's what's actually good about yoga because it actually have that 4 pillars of fitness. Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying, Sifu?
Yeah, it's a holistic, it's an overall, for like, I'll continue with the person who's hypermobile. If they're not careful, they might be hypermobile now while their bodies are young. But if their teacher doesn't tell them to execute, they don't teach them how to execute a pose properly, because they're so mobile, they're so flexible, they can do any of the movements, upside down, dancer pose and things like that. But if they're not careful, they're gonna have body problems, physical problems in their old age, because you can easily get injured because you don't have the strength.
Okay. So that's a very good thing to know, that yoga is addressing all those pillars of fitness, the cardio, the strength. Most likely in yoga practices, Sifu, right? It's always our own body weight that we are using, yeah?
Yes, definitely, own body weight. And that's why it's a lot more gentler on your joints. And, that helps a lot so that you don't worry about injury.
Some people are saying that more than the 4 pillars of fitness, they are also saying that yoga is also improving your proprioception and agility. So in my own personal practice, actually, I can attest to that, because sometimes this proprioception thing is doing something about our balance. Yeah.
Proprioception is how you see your body in space.
Wow.
And it's amazing. You can figure out where it's amazing how as an instructor, you'd have this, you'll have this experience. Well, you tell the person, right, triangle to the right, and they're triangle to the other side.
That's always the problem. That's always the problem.
It helps with that, and
And
and sometimes you tell people, you fold forward from your hips and things like that, and don't go past where if you've got high blood pressure, don't bring your head below your heart. But people don't have any idea, have no proprioception. They cannot figure out where their body is in space, so they go folding forward way more than they should be. And so your instructor will have to say, no, 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 only halfway. Yeah.
So before going that to details about precautions and anything, so going back to the topic that yoga is for everybody, and what are actually the basic practices that we can introduce to people when they are new to yoga?
Sorry, what was the question again?
What was the basic practices in yoga that we can introduce to people who are wanting to try this practice?
Okay, so the thing with yoga is it's not just physical exercises and it's not just breathing. Part of yoga is mindfulness, meditation, and also looking inward. So when we do our classes, because like I said, Nefa and I are both trained by the same instructor. When we introduce people to yoga, we don't only introduce them to the physical exercises, because then you're going to be limiting who you're able to offer yoga to. For us, yoga is a gift, and it has to be a gift that everybody can use. It has to be practical for everybody. So and some people don't like to do exercise, or it's just not the exercise that they want to do, or something. I don't know, maybe in some stage of their life. But so we offer yoga in its entirety. Historically, I mean, if you look back, yoga was never done on its own in isolation. It was always done with other yoga principles, like proper diet, lifestyle practices, and things like that. So they were implemented on a daily basis. So they never looked at yoga just exercise on its own. It was a whole combination of different practices. So when we do our yoga, when we teach yoga, Bohol Meditation and Yoga Center, Philippine Yoga Academy, it's always as a holistic package. We don't only teach you how to look after your body and your mind, but we also want you to actually learn how to look after the spirit, the Atma, the spiritual being that's inside that body of yours, of ours.
So that's basically what's yoga is all about. That when people hear about the word yoga, it's not all about the physical aspect. Yeah. So
no, that's only a small part of the full yoga practice. Is my camera shaking? I keep moving it.
no, it's just okay, Sipo. So how about because most people are hesitant to practice yoga nowadays because of so many for how they portray, especially in the West. About talking about the traditional yoga and the mainstream yoga, like what you have said, it's so many aspects, right, to talk about. So what can we tell about our viewers today about what they see in the yoga now? Is it the mainstream or is it the traditional, or is there a difference between the traditional and the mainstream yoga that they know?
Well, today's yoga is derived from the Hatha yoga system. That's basically they may call it all different types of yoga, and people name yoga according to their marketing goal. So traditional yoga. Okay. If you learn yoga in a traditional way, I mean really traditional, like in the olden days, it was always according to your body. That's how they taught it, But nowadays, a unless you have a private class, then you go with a class. And most of a lot of the yoga thing that really makes it so people are scared is the Instagram worthy yoga, is what I always call it. You always have to look good.
Will you flex, and
Yep.
sometimes you go to the yoga class just for the sake of having that having that perfect picture for Instagram or for Facebook, yeah. So
Yes, yes, and which is unfortunate, because actually yoga practices is to make it so that your body is healthy, your mind is calm, so that you can actually engage both body and mind in a meditation practice. That's virtually the reason. But these days, it's just like whatever looks good and however flexible. And what happens when you reach 50 or you reach menopause, and your hormones don't produce enough lubrication for your joints? What are you gonna do at that time? So you're discriminating against people who are older. And another thing that's very, very common. You know how, because both Nefa and I have background in Ayurveda,
yeah,
so which is like increases like, right? You'll notice type A people, the go getters, they like their yoga asanas practice as hardcore as possible.
yeah, the fiery one, yeah, the fiery people.
Hardcore yoga is for people who are like slow movers, who put on a little bit more weight. Those fast yoga are for those kind of body types. If you're the type A kind of person, already busy, already stressed out by your job, your business, or something like that, you need to do like slower yoga, focusing more on your breath, focusing more on your alignment, and grounding yourself, really grounding yourself, because otherwise you are going for burnout. I don't know, yoga these days are practiced a lot by the younger people. They don't realize what's going to happen to their bodies later on. You got to go think of an exercise program that's going to help you even in your later years. I mean, being an Tai Chi instructor as well, that's always the aim, is longevity, right? You're not going to push yourself to death because you need to be able to store an energy for longevity, so that even in your 90s, your mind is still working sharp. Your body is still moving. It probably won't move as much as before, but at least you're still healthy. You don't succumb to whatever flu or disease that comes around, and things like that. You're still able to carry out simple tasks for yourself. You're not dependent on other people. So
That's what
think
makes
about
yoga
longevity.
Yeah, that's what makes yoga so generic, because any level, anyone who wants to practice it, like what you said a while ago, as an instructor, we have that responsibility to cater them whatever type of class that we can give. Yeah.
Definitely, yes, that's our responsibility. That's why even in a general class, we as instructors have to know, okay, what is the easy version and what is a more challenging version for the people who have been going to our class for the last 2 years, and their bodies and their abilities have changed, or somebody comes in and obviously is on intermediate level or something like that, so that they don't say, oh no, this class is too easy. Yeah, so it's a challenge for the instructor to actually keep the class lively.
I find it actually difficult if I have beginners and then intermediate and then somebody who's advanced, because sometimes you need to curate your classes, your class according to how you can cater these people at a certain level of their practices. And sometimes, did you ever find it that some of your participants may find it that intimidating if there is somebody there who is show off
Yeah. Absolutely. Even I get intimidated.
That's
That's why we try to have beginners classes for beginners. But sometimes if you like in a small city like Tagbilaran city, it's a bit difficult to have a class for beginners, intermediate, and advanced because there's just not many people, or else there's too many instructors for a small place. So we just work out what's best for our students. We
Okay, so
hold
go.
workshops. That's where you can guide into his workshops, because those workshops will really help advanced and intermediate and advanced practitioners.
So that's exactly what workshop is, yeah. So we can actually, what we call this one, exclusively address what people are needing for their practice according to the level where they are, yeah.
Yes, and also what their interest is, because sometimes in a general class it's difficult to be able to tell people, because you're going at a certain pace, because you don't want people's internal heat to go down, right? So you're always moving. So that
Yeah.
you're not always like warming up and warming up. Yeah, right. So you go a certain pace. But in a workshop, it's different, because you just stop and go. You're not really there to do a so-called 1 hour practice. You're there to actually get into the guts of a certain move or a certain series of movements and things like that. So you can focus more. Maybe in a class you didn't hear the teacher say about the tripod of your feet, and you still don't understand what the tripod of your feet is because you missed a few classes. But in a workshop, if they're talking about the tripod of your feet, you definitely know what the tripod of your feet is.
Okay, talking about the tripod of your feet, since you have said a while ago that most of the yoga practices are coming from Hatha yoga, right? And then there is what they call about, I get this question from my students: what is the difference between Tadasana and Samastitihi when talking about that, about the tripod of your feet, So actually, I kind of have some. I just tell them that when you say Samastitihi, it means that the background of that practitioner is coming from Astanga yoga, and the Tadasana normally it's for the Hatha yoga practitioner. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely just depends on the lineage of the instructor. That's basically what it is. It's like poses of all different names. If you're doing Yin yoga, I mean something that I knew as a what's that one? The cobra.
Yeah,
It's
Cobra.
It's called swan. No, sleeping pigeon. The
Sleeping
pigeon like this. It's called a swan. I said, oh, okay. So
But
it
we
just
know
depends on the lineage of the instructor.
Yeah. So for them is the sleeping, what is it? What you call that one? Sleeping swan.
Sleeping pigeon becomes the swan.
Sleeping pigeon becomes the swan. So
Yeah.
there's different names according, and some also some new yoga teachers nowadays are modifying the names according to the branding that they have. Yeah.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Yes.
that's what
Yeah.
makes it difficult. that the original names of the of the poses of yoga are far, very far from what we know, especially if different lineage of trainings that we
Yeah.
under.
Well, it's like when it's like when you do the moon salutation. In the
Yeah.
moon salutation, it has this triangle in it. But we usually open our toe on the
Mhm.
direction of where we're going. But in the traditional moon salutation, that triangle your feet stay like this. It doesn't open up like this. Yeah. I said, oh no, I can't do that, so I open up.
Okay.
Yeah, so it just depends on who trained you. But
So this-
the essence, the one thing that you have to look out for if you're a student and looking for a yoga practice or a yoga teacher is check to see if your teacher always gives you precautions, is always is strict about alignment, because you're recruiting certain kinds of muscles, and if your alignment is not good because you want to look like that Instagram photo and you're using the wrong muscles, then you're not going to go get there's two things: you're not going to get the benefit of the pose, and the other one is you're setting yourself up for injury. So you've got to make sure that your teacher is safety conscious, teaches you correct alignment, and is also always incorporates strength and flexibility in the classes. And for me, being a Bhakti yoga teacher, for me, the teacher has to be able to actually teach more than asanas, but actually able to introduce you to your spiritual identity. And also, one of the things that some so-called yogis have been criticized about is they're very self-centered.
Really?
Yeah, because they're very so-called practitioners, because they're so focused just on their own practice. It's just whatever is for me, whatever is in, this is what it varies, very self-centered. I actually came across in some resort, Bohol has a lot of resorts. So I was in a resort one time, and this lady who had a 5-year-old kid probably just didn't even care about that poor 5-year-old kid, because she had to do her meditation and her yoga asanas. And we go, whoa, what happened to that lady? So that's kind of extreme. But in the way we practice our yoga asanas as well, in our yoga lifestyle with Bohol Meditation and Yoga Center, we also volunteer time for like coastal cleanups and tree planting and things like that, just so people have this feeling of being able to volunteer and be of service, actually using their time and energy and inculcating that service attitude, which actually goes hand in hand with yoga. But not many people do that either.
So it means
they don't look at that aspect of service. They don't
the servitude
bring it into focus. Yeah.
So it means that what you are saying, that it dependent on the kind of practices that they do. Sometimes the lineage that they are following is not cultivating that kind of inner calling to reach out to people that you're saying.
Yes, because that's not how they were trained. That's why, like I said, we are very fortunate that we were trained correctly, so that we can actually present to people a holistic view of yoga, from what sort of values to be aware of, what yoga values and what activities we should try to avoid, to exercises, to breathing, through to being able to control the mind and our senses, and things like that, and where to focus our mind, and the practice of meditation, including kirtan meditation, which we're going to be having pretty soon.
Yes. So wrapping it up, Sifu, with this topic, because we've gone so many topics already, but we are just discussing the brink of it. Okay, so for a shout out to all the people who are watching with us. We have 6 people who are watching with us today. So comment your name so that we will know who you are with us today. And we are very, very fortunate to have you in this simple discussion. What we are discussing here is just the brink of what is really what we want to share with you guys. Okay, so
tune in every Thursday, because next I will tell you more.
Thursday Yoga Talk, TYT. We call it TYT, and I don't know why in the hell it just came up and then it just rhymed. But because we have this inner calling wherein we want to share you guys what we have, and we want to reach you out. So that's why this show is brought to you. And I'm very thankful that my teacher here is very, very benevolent for her time to share it with me. So wrapping up for our discussion today before we go to the next, because actually the time is up for us for our discussion. And what can you say? What can you say, Sifu, when somebody say that I want to practice yoga now? How will I start?
uh, in this particular time and environment we're in right now. Um, Find a teacher that resonates with you, and don't just get stuck with one style because it might not work for you. And now that you've heard us talk about the holistic yoga, then I hope that you will also try to find an instructor that will actually be able to impart the true yoga knowledge to you, which is beyond just exercise and breathing.
Okay, so another question to that, Sifu, is when we are asked, what is that yoga? What is it all about? What is that? In a nutshell, for a very simple person, how we will answer that when somebody is asking you that.
Well, yoga is a practice to unite body, mind, and the spiritual entity with the Supreme Spirit. Yoga means union, and it is union not with some impersonalist sky or something like that, but actually with the personality of the Lord. Even when you're just going into the first limb of yoga, it's already in there. Ishvara Pranidhanaha, which is worshiping the Supreme. It's there, number one, even before you get to your asanas. So that's the real essence of yoga. So keeping your yoga actually is meant to keep your body healthy, your mind controlled, so that you can place it in a meditative state on the Supreme Person. In that way, you achieve the goal of yoga, which is this reestablishment of your relationship with the Supreme Person, and then you actually achieve for yourself true happiness, comfort, and everything else you are looking for, love, fulfillment. It's amazing.
Wow. So of all the things that you have said for today, we actually ran out of time.
That's right.
So before going to any further, so ready yourself, because we will introduce you guys to this very nice and fun meditation where we call it kirtan. So this is just a group meditation that you can join with us as you watch us today. So I'm very thankful that I'm here. I was able to talk with a lot of things with my great resource here, my Sifu. And we'll move forward to our meditation for life after the intro, Sifu. Okay? Ready
Okay.
your start. Okay, so that's it. We are now ready for our kirtan.
Oh, okay. I thought you're doing a pose. Yeah, the pose. What happened to the pose?
We'll do
All
it
right.
after the kirtan.
Okay. All right then. So I'll finish my segment. All right. So kirtan is a form of meditation. It's a group form. It's a group type of meditation because it's when two or more people get together, and it's one of the things that they can actually do to be able to practice meditation together. So you usually sing, and you can use any musical instrument that you're able to play, or if you don't have any, you can clap your hands. It doesn't really matter, and neither does the quality of your voice matter, because this is a song for the Lord. So the mantra that we're going to be on the yoga sound we're going to be focusing on today is Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Nefa, can you just put that on the screen and then just keep it on?
Yeah.
So it's Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Now, usually when it's a live, you've got people there. Usually somebody starts and the others listen, and then the leader will stop so that the others can sing. back, and the leader listens. But this one is a bit difficult because I can't hear you, or else there's a time lapse between the response, so you probably just hear me singing all throughout. So just join in whenever you can. When the mantra is there on the screen, so you can just follow. I'll try not to make it too fast, and as soon as you're ready, just join in. But like I said, normally it would be one person leading, the others following, but these are strange times. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana
Okay,
Arigo.
now we'll move on. Okay, so we are here. We have this mountain pose. So this is one of the pose. Let's talk about this, Sifu, about this mountain pose. Um,
Okay.
most of yoga practitioner nowadays are taking for granted this pose, which is the essential for any standing pose, right?
Yes, it is.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, it is the foundation for all your yoga poses, whether you're lying down, standing up, or you've got your head on the ground. I mean, inverted poses. So look at these ones here.
so let's
So
talk about the benefits.
sorry.
Number one benefits, yeah. Let's talk about the benefits of this. The
Yes, sure.
number one benefit is improving the posture and reducing flat feet.
Hmm.
So improving the posture. So how this exercise, such as mountain pose, can improve your posture, simply because most of the time when we are sitting a lot of time in our chair and slouching in our sala set, most of it are compensating some part of our body, right? And over time,
Yes.
also the
Slouching.
deformity that we have, yes, slouching. Especially, I've heard one of my mentors said that um, those people who always sit down and leaning their back on the chair, most of the time they have a what they call this one tight hip flexor. So,
Yeah.
so this mountain
And
pose is very good in improving your posture. Do
yeah,
you want to add?
also because a lot of people now spend a lot of time looking at their gadgets, and now this, and then you look like a turtle. Your neck, your chin is always forward. So mountain pose, you see, it doesn't say in here, but usually you have your chin slightly tucked in,
Yeah,
so that it
it
goes
says
back
here,
into position.
elongate your neck. You elongate your neck. It says here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the
So
back. Yeah.
yeah. So in how to do this pose, we have here all the key things. So simple as this may seem for you that you are just standing when you perform this pose, but there are a lot of things that is happening here. For example, your feet, either it is close together or open wide, and then um, make sure that your feet is really rooted to the floor, wherein you evenly distributed your weight to the earth, right, Sifu? And
Yes,
then
and also
you also,
usually for women, usually hip width apart is more comfortable because we've got wider hips than men.
yeah. And some women also tend to open their feet outward, yeah, according to the opening of their hips.
Yeah. So it's better to
Yeah.
just step. It's just better to
Okay,
step
so
hip width, and then you can keep your feet parallel. You need to keep your feet parallel
okay. So as you
because
engage your
yeah,
feet,
yeah. Hang on. Sorry. You keep your feet parallel to make it so that your hips open. Because
wow. Okay.
if you open your toes out, your hips close in.
Okay. So as you perform this pose, pressing your feet to the floor, you are actually engaging your inner thighs in here. And there is also a subtle movement wherein you lift your pelvic floor. You know what is amazing about the pelvic floor, Sipu? Until now, my students are not getting what is the pelvic floor activation.
I know.
So anyway,
It's very difficult.
yeah. So as you press your feet to the floor and engaging your inner thighs and lifting your pelvic floor, it's actually activate your core muscle, and as if you are lifted to your chest down to the crown of your head. So that is why with this simple pose, when you see it from afar, it's just so simple as standing, but actually the subtle movement that you're doing there, once you know the technique how to do it, is quite a lot to take in. Yeah, Sifu?
Yes, absolutely. Like I
So
said, it's the base of all your poses.
So make sure that your pelvis is square in front, and it's either you can have your palms facing forward or facing your body, and then the shoulders relax, always shoulders away from the ears. And then this elongation of the neck. Sometimes we see tuck your chin to your tuck your jaw to your chin, yeah. Uh,
I
Draw
just
your chin.
slightly, yeah, slightly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
just enough to lengthen the neck.
yeah, because some people when they push their chin go into their neck, sometimes it really lock their neck up, and
Yeah.
you know
Now that's
it's
now that's called Jalandhara Banda.
yeah, yeah.
That,
So that's
that's
a
a different
difference.
yoga pose.
Yeah, that's a different yoga pose.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a neck lock.
So, I'd like to talk actually about this Tadasana, how it can reduce flat feet. Um, Flat feet is very bad actually for some people because it reduces the stability in your feet. Most people who have flat feet, you know that they don't have the natural arches in their feet. Okay, they are unstable and they are prone for injury and what we call
Falling
this one
over.
injury, yeah, fall over. So some elderly, yeah, over the time, some of them are very poor in their posture and some of them develop flat feet. Yeah, Sifu?
Yeah, yeah. It's called fallen arches. Yeah, with
Fall.
age, if you don't practice this if you don't practice this tripod of your feet, yeah, you will with age it will just sag. As with everything in the body, sags.
Okay. So there are modification and props that you can do when you practice this one. You can check your alignment with your back against the wall while standing your heels, sacrum, and shoulder blades, but not back on the head touching the wall. So make sure that the back of the head is not touching the wall. And to check your balance of the external and internal hip rotators, there's something about that in your muscular thing in your legs that's happening there. So don't worry about that. That's too technical. You can place blocks. Okay, just simply put something in between your legs so that you can work. You can activate those engaging of your inner thighs. So over the
Yes, and
time, that's
squeeze that
yeah,
block.
yeah, that's how you can practice and experience this activation of the inner thighs. So all in all, this is the dasana, my friends, and this is for your information. Sometimes you can only know this information if you have a proper training, but today we're giving it out to you for free. So for those of you who are tuning in, this is how you can improve your Tadasana practice, the very, very foundation of all standing poses and all other poses, even if you are flipping upside down or lying down.
That's
Okay?
right.
Okay, so I guess that's all what we have
You
today.
know, like remember when we were training?
Yeah?
Even when you do your warriors, Tadasana back, mountain back, always, always mountain back. Arms up in the air, mountain back. You fold forward, mountain back. That's how important it is.
So I guess we are now wrapped up with our first episode here. And as much as I want to
Yay!
talk more about this one, so for all of you guys who are tuning in, there are 4 people who are watching with us. Thank you very much for being with us through the whole time. 1 hour is not enough for all this discussion. And I'm also thankful for my partner in crime in here, Sifu. Thank you very much for your time. And see you
Thank
again
you. Thank you for the
next week and
opportunity.
the other week.
Namaste. Okay. You can catch me at Bahal Meditation and Yoga Center Facebook page. I'm sure it's gonna stream. It'll run through there somewhere.
Okay, anyone who want to shout out Sifu for those people there in Bohol or anyone that you want to say hi and shout out now. It's the time
Yeah.
for you.
Okay. I don't really know. Okay.
I don't want to say hi to
Anybody from
Radha.
Bohol? Mayong hapon na ba karon? Kung sa orasan na ba di alas 2? Oh, yeah, sige. Sige, kamusta na lang. Kamusta na. All right.
Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for tuning with us. And we will leave you with this kirtan, more kirtan for you before you signing off. Thank you, Sifu. Have a
Thank you
nice
so
day.
much.
Bye-bye.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Shiva.